Hi, this is Deborah King, and I am here with my new show. This is a crazy new show that I've never done before, and it is called Palette Art, A Beautiful Mess. And how this got started was with this little painting. I was working on my paintings, and I was ripping out a page from my palettes after all the paint was dry and it was all goopy and messy. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, this is actually really beautiful. I think I want to make something of this. And I see something in there. If you look at just this right, it looks like a swan. So I took this little swan, I took this palette, and I drew this, painted the swan on there. If you could see this little swan. And it was such a mess, and it was so chaotic, and it reminded me of the way the world is right now. And the swan is carrying her little cygnets with her on her back, carrying them through the messy, chaotic time. And so this one's called Carry You Through. It's an 8x10. So that started this whole thing of, from now on, I'm going to save my palettes, and I'm going to see afterward. I'm going to hold them up, and I'm going to see what is there in here. God, what can you show me about, what can I pull out of this that would be meaningful? So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the rest of this art and explain to you what they are and what they mean. And if you want to, I'm playing a little game here of I Spy. If you want to, you can go on the website first, and it's dkingsdesign.weebly.com. You can see that here. You can go there first and see what you see first before I explain it to you. So you can get an idea of maybe you see something I don't see. It's abstract art, which is a new thing for me. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to go through each painting. This one up here, I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but this one, right away I saw this mountain goat, and I was reminded of the Bible verse that says, he will make me as sure-footed as the deer and help me to stand on my mountain heights. So he is on this little mountain here, and there's these waves crashing around him. Looks like to me waves. And above him is an eagle. I saw this little blob here, and it looked just like this eagle. It reminded me again of a Bible verse that says, those who trust in the Lord will soar on high on wings like eagles. And then over here, I just found, and I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but all these fish jumping up. They're swimming upstream, and they're trying to get higher and higher. So this one is called Come Higher. And there are all these fun symbols in it. So, and you know, it's funny because if you take this and turn these upside down, they're still pretty. They're just different. You see different things. So, but this is how I'm hanging this. This one is really fun. My husband, he's a left brain science guy. And he looked at these and he said, these are just disturbing. So the funny thing is that with abstract art, you see what you want to see. You see what, you bring your own perspective to all these things, and you can guess at what they are. So it'd be kind of fun to hang this up in your house and stare at it and see different things. When I was a little girl, I used to look up at my ceiling, and it was one of those like asbestos-filled, bumpy ceilings, and I used to try to see little faces and animals and different things in those. So these would be fun conversation pieces to hang in your house and say, well, what do you see, to people that come into your home? This one is one of those pieces. The most obvious thing that I painted in here, this red was just totally there. I could see right away this is a vulture. And he's kind of sitting here, and there's stormy waves coming in, and he's just kind of, the world is upside down here. I saw an upside down tree right here, and the world is upside down, and there's all this chaos. And he's kind of waiting for the end of the chaos to happen, waiting for the carnage. But then, so it was kind of a dark feeling. But then I saw her. Can you see something else on here that's not so dark? Let's see if you can see it. Can you see a face right here? And she's a little girl. She's got flowers in her hair. This is her eye. She's blowing bubbles. Here's her hand. She's holding this bubble blower, and she's blowing these beautiful bubbles into the world. And I entitled this, She Laughs, because in Proverbs it says that She is clothed, it's talking about a virtuous wife. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future. And so here she is. There's all this stuff going on, and she is choosing joy, and she's confident in her faith, knowing that she's going to be okay. And she's not worried. She knows God's in control. So this is called She Laughs. This one's kind of a fun one. This is a chicken. It kind of almost looks like a rooster because it's really colorful. I'm trying to get the glare out of there. But this chicken is sitting with the eggs in the nest. You can see here there's a nest, and there's 3 different colors of eggs, which is kind of a fun way to see. There's a verse that says that when Jesus was saying that he really longs to gather up his children Israel under his wings, like a hen gathers her chicks. This was a reminder to me that no matter what color we are, no matter what race we are God's children, and he's looking over us and watching over us and protecting us in everything. So that one's called Brood. It's a little brood of chicks ready to hatch. I did a series on Daniel recently, and this just reminded me of that. It's a scene I did not paint anywhere else, and I did Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in standing up for their faith, but not in the fiery furnace, because everybody kind of does that one, and I wasn't sure how to do it. But then when I saw this palette, I said, oh my goodness, that's what this is. So here we have, it's called Four of Us. And you can see there are 4 little heads here, 4 people in this cavern, in this fiery cavern. And as I was framing it, I saw something else in this. And right here, it kind of looks like the shadow of Nebuchadnezzar's head, like a man's head. Like he's looking and laughing, thinking, oh, these people are going to burn up. But they're not burning up because the 4th one in the fire, the Lord is with them. So that's this one called 4 of Us. Came out really nice. This one is pretty powerful. I love this one. Let me see if you can see. Do you see anything in this? Can you see it right away? Or does it take some time? My kids think I'm crazy asking them all these questions about these. Do you see a lion? This is called Holy Roar. And here we've got a blue lion, and he's roaring at the darkness, and the darkness is fleeing. And here is the young lion, which represents Father, Son, and this here looks kind of like a dove or a spirit. It's the Holy Spirit. They're roaring at the darkness and making it flee. I just love the blues in this piece. It's very textural. These are just very deep paint. I'm doing another series on water lilies, which I'm in the middle of working on right now. And so as I worked on that palette, what was left over kind of still looked like water lilies. So I added a couple things. It looks to me like a koi pond. You can see this one here. This one would go really well in my house because I have a lot of greens and browns in my carpet and my walls. See some kind of koi fish colors, and these are floating on top of the water. And this series that I'm doing is based on the idea that even though we're in this messy pond and it stinks and there's stuff floating around in it and fish and things, we can be the flowers that rise above that and smell good and are pretty and bring hope and bring light into the world that's otherwise pretty messy. So that's what that is. This one's called koi. It says koi fish. Koi fish are kind of hiding. This one's a crazy abstract piece that is really fun. This is super textural. I don't know if you can see this, but there's really, like, it pops off the canvas in a bunch of places. This is from my palette, and acrylic paint dries kind of thick and plasticky, so I ripped it off of my cups palette, and then I attached them to this canvas, and it looked to me like the moon and the stars, like a nebula. I'm calling this the cosmos, so check this out. You'll have to come up to the gallery to see how textural and fun this piece is. I don't know if you can see that. The last one here is really surprising. I was going to try to make a globe or a world. So I did half my paper with a bunch of paint, and then I folded the paper in half, and it squished the paint onto the other side, so it's totally symmetrical. And what I saw when I was done was this. Can you see that? I just enhanced it only a little, but it looks to me like a stag right there, just looking right at us. And it reminds me of the way that God's watching over us, that He is mighty, and He's got this world pandemic thing. He's got it figured out. He's going to take care of us. We're going to be okay. He's watching over everything, and there is a pattern and there is purpose in His works and what He's doing, and things for us to learn as a country and as a world about each other and about God and who He is. So this one is called Deer World, because it kind of looks like a deer in the world. So this is my fun palette art I Spy show, and I hope you look around on my website and see all of my other works. I have some fun ones up for Christmas that would make good gifts. So take a look at D. King's design. I have, also, if you do come in, if you do go to the website, leave comments on like a piece that you like, or something that you saw something totally different. If you looked at a piece and said, oh no, this is what I saw. I want to know. I want to see what you saw in the piece. It might be totally different than what I saw. So comment, leave me a comment. If you come up to the gallery to look at these, I have this little book here. It says, what did you think of the show? Write your comments in here. I want to see what you thought of my crazy new palette show. So that's up here, and we hope to see you soon. And I'm going to kind of put this as my last thing. There's my business card of what I'm doing and my website. So anyways, have a great day.